Hello guys, another video from my car as every Saturday, and today I want to give a few tips for those of you who are trying to find remote job or remote freelance client. From what I've seen from people hiring remote work or outsourcing, there are two kinds of problems with that typically. It's communication and reliability. And it's not even about development skills. Well, it should be kind of like a given, the developer should be skilled, but also they should be good at communication from the very beginning. So even your first email, your first contact, your first call should be professional in terms of communication. You need to present yourself well with good English language, so readable English language, not necessarily 100% grammar, but for example, if you're hired into US company or UK, they should be trusting you from the very first letters. And then in terms of reliability, quite often I see people complaining when hiring remote work, when outsourcing, that those companies or those developers promise in the very beginning just to get any job, just to get the project, although they are not maybe qualified to take the work, or it's not clear everything, all the details. So quite often remote companies, outsourcing companies go like, okay, it's all clear, it's all good, we can move on, let's sign the papers, let's start all the project, and then in the middle of the project, or even worse, at the end of the project, things start happening. Apparently it wasn't very clear, apparently the developer wasn't fully qualified to take the job, and stuff like that. So I've seen so many people kind of burned their money on the outsourcing work with that specific outcome. So at least a few people I know will never hire remote at all, just because they got overpromised and under-delivered in a bad way. And in general, when hiring remotely, for example, myself, if I were to hire, I'm currently not hiring, but if I wanted to find a developer, I don't know them, I don't trust them yet, there's no trust. And if you break the trust with communication or with reliability, not finishing some task on time or in appropriate manner, then the trust is broken from the very beginning, and then it's very hard to get the trust back. So in other words, you think you're a good developer and you can find a job easily remotely or freelance client? Not necessarily. On top of that, you need to be good at communicating, at presenting yourself, at being an advisor, a consultant to the client, not only a developer. And then you need to reliably deliver. If you cannot deliver something, tell that upfront. Or if you promised, then you have to deliver each time. And then if you gain the trust of the client and you communicate well and deliver well, you will get more work from the same client potentially on the same project, and then you will get testimonials from that client, and then your whole remote freelance career may take off like a charm. But what I wanted to emphasize in this video is I see a lot of people asking me how to get their first job, first position, first remote work. And for remote work, it's double hard because there's a trust issue. So look at yourself in the mirror, look at your portfolio everywhere. Do you have GitHub? Do you have a blog? Do you have presence on social media or anywhere? And look at those from the eyes of the client. Would you trust that person to hire them and to pay like thousands of dollars? If not, fix your online presence, maybe improve the way how you communicate with clients. If you fail at some job interview or pitch, then analyze why, what went wrong, and improve. So yeah, that's my tip for remote work. It's not enough to be just a good developer. You have to be a good communicator as well. What do you think about that? Any tips for your colleagues to find a remote work, or any stories from you guys hiring remote people? Let's share your experience in the comments, and see you guys in other videos.